Hello ladies and gentlemen, Azagai here. I'm bringing to you another video for Conqueror's Blade, published by Porus Interactive and my games, developed by Booming Tech. I just finished recording the PTR update 2, I believe. So I think that's going to be the last PTR before the season starts. Well, the season starts literally tomorrow. But that being said, this video will be covering the news update for basically the new season, but it'll be for the, it'll be the new season update log. Now, let's just get straight into it. New season is Dragonrise. Seasonal content. Of course, we've been having a look at the Feathered Crosswomen coming back from the PTR. A bit disappointed. Their melee's been nerfed heavily, and rightfully so, but I kind of miss it. I wish they kept the melee and kept their range kind of... Well, again, their range is still powerful. It is still useful. It is range. But their swords, if their swords were competent, that would be a very good hybrid. Unfortunately, they have nerfed that side, so they're going to probably be focused on range. Anyway, interesting thing here. Feather Crossbowman has 3-star has an entire backstory. So let's read real quick. Backstory: the western regions faced repeated invasions from Guian and Hu forces before the unified. Quinn King, again, if I butcher any of these names or terminologies, please don't crucify me. I'm not a native speaker in Chinese. Queen King called upon the heroes around the continent, formed the Feathered Crosswomen to safeguard the region. The Feathered Crosswomen was renowned for its martial arts, adept in using crossbows to shoot down powerful enemies from a distance, and skilled in close combat with blades. Guan and Hu forces, relying on their formidable cavalry, often launched assaults, plundering and wreaking havoc. Quinn King devised a plan and dispatched a unit of Feathered Crossbowmen to ambush the enemy. Guan and Hu forces were greatly alarmed by the sudden arrival of the Feathered Crossbowmen, thinking that divine soldiers had descended. Seizing the opportunity, the Feathered Crossbowmen launched a powerful crossbow assault, catching the enemy off guard. The Guan and Hu forces fall in panic, abandoned their camp and fled. As they retreated, they encountered another ambush set by the Feathered Crossbowmen, resulting in significant casualties. Since then, whenever the Guan and Hu forces heard the sign, Feather Crosswomen, they trembled in fear. Western regions and the people within had finally attained a peace. You know what I forgot to test? And I hope someone figures this out really quickly, is whether or not the Feathered Crosswomen's crossbow bolts can cancel cavalry charges. One of the most important things in this game that is very much understated is that crossbow bolts and musket shots can cancel the charging state of cavalry. Except for Demez Crossbowmen and Ratand Marksmen, they don't count for some reason. But yeah, all of the other units are very consistent with what I said. Feather Crossbowmen, wondering whether or not they can also cancel the charging state if they use the same... Well, I mean, again, if their bolts can cancel the charging state, that would be very deadly to charge-focused cavalry, and it could be very deadly to lower-tier cavalry that don't have these kinds of immunities. So that is something very important to watch out for. Not entirely sure, though. Again, you guys are going to have to figure that out really quickly, because I haven't tested that, and it's something that just blows my mind that sometimes when testing, you don't test everything that comes to your mind, and it's just like one of the few things that just slips past. I do find that it was very fun using the unit, but in retrospect, it's kind of when you throw the unit in all scenarios where you get the best outcome of performance. Can't really just have it in a very isolated scenario. So I definitely do think that someone should figure out. Probably not me. Someone should figure out whether or not the Feather Crossbowmen cancels the charging state of cavalry. I do think, since they are crossbowmen, they could cancel the charging state of cavalry. And if they can, that's going to be very powerful because cavalry are going to have to fear the Feather Crossbowmen very much. Anyway, battle mode. The Feather Crossbowmen are skilled martial artists proficient in the art of dual wielding. They excel in using their crossbows to eliminate foes from a distance, but they are equally adept in close combat. Wielding tang blades with precision and agility, their mastery of both weapons allows them to execute swift and devastating attacks, manipulating the enemy's movements with expert skills as the King of Quin's secret weapon. Their prowess is undeniable and their reputation well-deserved. Skill 1, Suppressing Fire, same as other ranged units, mostly just crossbowmen. Suppressing Fire, just basically attack area. I don't know why they call it Suppressing Fire when it should be attack area. Which makes me really sad, because in the video, it kind of like does... They kind of do like a volley fire thing, so I think skill 1 should be kind of like a volley fire thing. They should just have... They should just... Bah! They should have like a volley fire thing when you use suppressing fire, so it looks cooler that way, but nah, let's not have that. Skill 2, Sudden Storm, Burst Attack, available in both ranged and melee. Features versatile in both melee and ranged combat. They've said that like 3 times now, with bursts of power and decent survivability, agile and adept at kiting. When it says decent survivability, these are literally the tankiest tier 3 range unit in the game. Like, that can't be understated. Not to mention, they have a ridiculous healing capacity. I mean, like, they could be at 1 HP, and then all of a sudden they're at 6,001 HP. Wow! They just got 6,000 health in a snap of a fingers. Their healing capacity just makes them be able to heal from 0 to 100, really, just in an instant. Like, nothing's stopping that. Nothing's stopping that. Once the ability is activated, these guys are 3 times, almost, I mean, like, basically 1.5 times, yeah, 1.5 times more difficult to kill. Otherwise, 2.5 times normal difficulty, so whatever. The Wu Wei Mansion Guards, 4-star. The backstory. Since the King of Quan conquered and pacified the central area, he was able to establish his government, command thousands of troops to protect his territory. His old guards, expert in harnessing the mighty spear during battle, were all brave and fearless. The King of Qin then included them in his army, renaming them the Wu Wei Mansion Guards. The Wu Wei Mansion Guards is loyal to their leader and unyielding even when facing slim chances of survival. A poem later praises the Wu Wei Mansion Guards, reveals its mighty power, and heroes are seen everywhere. Very weird looking spear thingy. And again, they are, for the most part, anti-infantry. One thing that's going to be really interesting is how these guys are going to be released in their current state from the PTR. They're quite gimmicky, but I mean, just the spin to win with Brutal Sweep will see its day. The damage is very high. I'm not sure how many it hits, but 4,000 to 5,000 damage, probably 3. If it hits 3 people in a single hit, you're probably dealing more damage than probably some tier 5s. Probably as hard as tier 5s. Battle mode. The Wu Wei Mansion Guards consists of courageous and young warriors who adeptly wield their giant spears to pierce the enemy's throats, knock them off the ground, and disrupt enemy formations. They capitalize on every opportunity to defeat the enemy with minimal effort. With their exceptional skill and stamina, they prove to be a formidable force under the command of Queen King on the battlefield. Skill 1. Soul-breaking claw inflicts throw and considerable damage to enemy. Didn't that get changed? I feel like that got changed. Oh no, the throw on brutal sweep got changed. I think this is supposed to be some kind of struck state, or this was a struck state. Can't remember. I do realize that they did have some kind of CC on the end of the Soul-breaking claw when they do the swing up. Brutal sweep. Brutal sweep. The Wu Wei Magic Guard sweeps their pikes, causing massive damage to enemies and making themselves immune to control. It is 1 second now, so delivering the big damage. We'll have to see how hard these guys hit, and I'm pretty sure nothing short of a shield is going to be able to block their damage, unless you're literally unkillable like Iron Reapers. Actually, no, even Iron Reapers didn't survive very well. I think I managed to kill like 5 Iron Reapers. And that's not a small feat, by the way. And I didn't even get to test the new ones. When they came out, I managed to kill 5. I mean, I think I managed to kill 5. Or maybe 3. But, yeah. I definitely think the Wu Wei Matching Guards will definitely be dealing a lot of damage. And Iron Reapers are normally really the best test for raw damage. How much damage we're talking. In terms of damage and block break, ISGs are pretty much a really good go-to. Kind of really difficult to kill because of their high armor, high damage reductions, massive block. That being said, feature. Strong, sustained combat and survivability. They say that, but it's just like 5% per hit. Not actually that much. It's not like the 3% per second on something like Men-at-Arms, who are also like 3 times tankier than what the Wu Wei Matching Guards are right now. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can blow up the Wu Wei Matching Guards with anything that deals like a significant amount of damage, but these guys also deal a significant amount of damage. Barely any survivability. Talking about that, if you want something that deals a lot of damage and has massive amounts of survivability, just use the Onimushas. They probably are way better. The only problem is that they don't have crowd control. So, Wu Wei Matching Guards have the kind of brute force, immune to everything, I'm gonna get my damage out, versus the Onimusha, who are way more, in this case, more difficult to use, but have a much higher capacity. So, again, I think these guys are just probably going to end up being worse Onimushas or more guaranteed Onimushas. So they're more reliable, but I still think Onimusha will probably be more powerful at the end of the day. Or, like, if you were to talk about ceiling, Onimushas probably have a higher ceiling, while the Wu Wei Matching Guards probably have a lower ceiling. And the floor is also pretty high, but the floor for Onimushas can be pretty low. You can lose your entire Onimusha to like nothing. Or just heroes that just hate your unit. The Zhuangjia Heavy Cavalry 5-star. Backstory. The Queen King and the Northern Barbarians were engaged in perennial war? Not sure what that word is, actually. Enemies' cavalry causing tremendous distress and challenge to Qing army. One day, as Qing army was devising a strategy to overcome the enemy, he witnessed General Jingdi leading a cavalry force with black armored horses and wore shining black armor. Each member is a warrior with high morale. Wherever they went, they left a trail of victories. Queen King was overjoyed and bestowed upon them the title of Zhuangjia Heavy Cavalry. Battle mode. Zhuangjia Heavy Cavalry are characterized by their lightning-fast and unassailable charges in battle. They ride expertly trained war horses covered in black armor, utilizing the speed and force of their mount to approach enemies swiftly and unleash a devastating attack, using spears to penetrate through their enemies as they approach or fully unleash their violence during a charge. This high-speed charge, along with unstoppable spear attacks, can quickly break through enemy formations, causing a lot of chaos and casualties. Skill 1, Swift as Lightning, increases its speed and charges towards a designated location. Again, they don't say it here, but you can move them. You don't actually have to commit to the activation of the ability. You can move them and adjust their where they go as you use the ability, or after you use the ability, and they're still technically in that ability state. So that is a big sale point. I don't know why they're not saying it here. Skill 2. Weapon Veteran immediately becomes immune to controls and launch several rounds of attacks when close to enemies. Again, immunity to controls. It's only 1 second, but like there's a thing where it becomes 1 second every attack or something, so it just becomes CC immune, or sometimes it doesn't trigger. I have no idea. But again, it's just going to be another cavalry it's just going to be another unstoppable cavalry that deals a lot of damage and very difficult to kill. Especially when it gets the toughness doctrine. That toughness doctrine is OP. It's basically 2/3 of what a very heavy armor trait is, without the negative of having sluggish to go with it. Features. The control immunity in their skills enables them to harvest large groups of infantry within a considerable range. No, control immunity with that's completely separate point. That's an illogical statement, because control immunity doesn't enable them to harvest large amounts of infantry. Weapon veterans can hit lots of units and deals a lot of damage, meaning it can deal with large groups of infantry and within considerable range, because weapon veteran range is fairly large and they can do it while moving. My goodness. Conqueror's Path. Man, I have just begun and this is 17 minutes. Conqueror's Path, level 1. Level 0, we have the Snow Falcon attire. I do think the Snow Falcon attire looks way better than the 100, than the level 100 attire, at least for the males. New Dawn attire for Conqueror's Path level 100. Again, the female one looks way better than the male one. Why? The stupid helmet. The stupid helmet just looks stupid. Give me something like the female one, but make it look more. I mean, you could just give us the exact same thing and it would look fine. I think it would look fine. Maybe you could add more edges. But yeah, honestly, whoever decided this half-ass ornamental helmet with this kind of attire needs to be fired. Make the female one and the male one look similar, because the entire vibe between these two just completely different. The female one looks gorgeous. The male one looks like trash, because you decided to give the male one the helmet that looks like trash, and the female one that gives them, like, what do you call them? Like a hair bracelet thing? God, I swear to God, if there are any female watchers, they're probably just screaming at me for the name of whatever that thing's called. Like a hairpin. Not called a hairpin, like hair ornament thingy. Season Vault. During the Dragonrise season, the Eternal Season attire will be available for exchange at a 20% discount of Badges of Heroism in the Season Vault. The exchange price for the Sealed Wandering... Oh, man, you can just read it all here. I'm not going to read out all of this. This is just going to be changing from... yeah, it's just going to be changing from whatever was last season, which I'm pretty sure should have been the Scorpio one, into the Eternals one. So... great. We're gonna have like a sealed version for slightly different color scheme for the Eternals attires and weapons. So great. We're gonna probably be missing whatever was before Scorpio. It does look like it was the Colosseum season, but yeah, excellent. By season, so we get the phases now. Alrighty, phase 1, Great Ambition, goes from 21st, the 21st of the 3rd to the 1st of the 4th, so that will be 2 weeks. Wow, you get like a week and a half, technically. 3 stars and lower, set attributes, available units are 3 stars and lower, set attributes inactive, extra attributes inactive, auxiliary units 3 stars lower, auxiliary point 6, territory war, warlords can wage war in Maoyang and Liangyun. Phase 2, Rising in War Flames, goes from 1st of the 4th to 15th of the 4th. So that's 2 weeks. Available units are going to be 4 stars and lower. Set attributes active. Extra attributes inactive. Like, when they first did this, they had extra attributes active and set bonuses inactive. I was just like, why? Set bonuses should be active before extra attributes. Extra attributes are literally cancer to deal with or balance. Auxiliary 4 stars and lower, auxiliary point 6. Territory wars, warlords can wage war in Longting. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Longting, Maoyang, and Liangyun. They say it like this, but it just means that Longting actually opens up. Or maybe there's a special kind of thing where only Longting is in territory war, but who knows? I highly doubt that. If you can wage war in Maoyang and Liangyun, for these 2 weeks, you're not getting those feasts for free. Phase 3, the Burning Lands, goes from 15th of the 4th to the 6th of the 5th. That's a really long time. 15th of the 4th to the 6th of the 5th. That's a solid 3 weeks. 5 star and lower. I mean, like basically basically all units. Set bonus active, extra attributes active. So this is where 15th and 4th is where fully active. No more restrictions, which is fairly short. Only about 3 weeks. Well, no, technically 4 weeks. It's by like 3.5 weeks. To get back to 5 star. So good luck to any new players that's going to start on this season. Phase 4, Ode to the Chaos. So this should be the fight for Longting? Okay, that's interesting. Maoyang, Langlun. That not right. Haoxing doesn't have a map, does it? Ooh, interesting. I don't play territory war, but anyone that does, please tell me and please show me if you guys get a battle on Haoxing. I want to really see. I want to see the map that's there, but I highly doubt that's going to be happening. So because what I'm guessing is that they go to Longting and they go back to Maoyang and Liangyun. So this should be Aliang and Dai. It starts with a D. Starts with a D. Not Dailiang. I forget the name. I highly doubt Haoxing is going to be available. But yeah, Ode to the Chaos goes from the 6th of the 5th to the 20th of the 5th. Available units is 5 stars and lower. Active set attributes active, extra attributes active. 5 auxiliary units are 5 stars and lower. Auxiliary points are 6. Territory war related. Aliang and Haoxing are available for contention. So these are the capitals of the region for, I'm pretty sure this one's Maoyang and this one's Longting. I'm very interested to see this as a territory war map. Phase 5, the Supreme Glory, 20th of the 5th to the 2nd of the 6th. 5 star and lower, so this will probably be the 2 weeks. Yeah, this Dai Shen! There we go, that's the name. Oh. That's weird. How many weeks is that? Starts here. 2 weeks. Oh. Oh, okay. Green Glory goes from the 20th to the 2nd. Oh, this is 2 weeks. This is the final 2 weeks of the season. Alright, it's still 10 weeks. But that's really interesting. Phase 5, the Supreme Glory, goes from the 20th of the 5th to the 2nd of the 6th. Usable units are 5 stars and lower. Set attributes active. Extra attributes are active. The auxiliary units 5 stars and lower, and the auxiliary points are 6. Territory War, Liang, Daichen, and Haojing are available for contention. I'm guessing Daichen is going to be the main capital, so the ultimate winner of the Territory War. I'm not even sure if you even still get the special Territory War attire for having the capital. So, I mean, whoever wins, do tell me if you still get your special Territory War attire. That will be interesting to see that is actually still ongoing. But again, if you don't, you don't. Seasonal challenges, of course. You have the Feathered Crossbowmen starting on tomorrow, 21st of March. So we have stage 1, got the 3-day trial, unit unlock on the 2nd stage, exclusive rare doctrine. Again, this is really stupid. It should be exclusive epic doctrine. Why would they give us such a rare doctrine for the weakest units? And obviously the 4th star is the unit's avatar. Q version? I think it's meant to be like cute version. The Wu Wei Mansion Guards select 8 tasks at each stage, so you got a total of 10. Normally there'll be like 3 or 4 of them, which are fairly difficult to complete. It goes from April 1st to... Oh, it opens up at April 1st. Literally 2 weeks afterwards. Stage 1 is a 3-day trial. Stage 2 is the 120 medals. Stage 3 is unit unlock. Stage 4 is the epic unit exclusive epic doctrine, and stage 5 is the unit's avatar Q version. The Zhuangjia heavy cavalry unit selects up to 10 tasks at each stage, but they have 12 tasks, and of course there'll be like 4 difficult ones. It opens at April 15th, 2024 afternoon. Stage 1, 3-day trial. Stage 2, units exclusive rare doctrine, which is actually very powerful. 5 seconds off of weapon veteran, which is insane. Stage 3, 120 unit medals. Stage 4, you unlock the unit. Stage 5, the special Daybreak Seal for Dragonrise season only, plus 200 medals. Stage 6, a unit exclusive epic doctrine. I don't know which one this one will be. It will either be the weapon veteran block break or the 8% damage reduction, which is insane. Just a flat 8% damage reduction. That's better than like nearly any of the other defensive doctrines in the game. Again, giving all of the good doctrines to units that don't need it, because these guys are going to come out insanely strong. Instead, you throw out a unit that comes out extremely weak, absolutely send it to the moon, and then nerf it back into the ground. I'm talking about Branching Guard in this case. They have trash doctrines and a trash availability. You can't decide whether or not it's supposed to be a sword and shield unit, but it's actually supposed to be a hybrid unit, or is it supposed to be a sword and shield unit? And then you treat it like it's a shield unit for when it's in the sword and shield mode, and it's just like, what? Stage 7 rewards, you get the unit's avatar cute version. Honestly, I didn't check the runes again, but let's just briefly take a look. You can slow this down, pause it to read all of this. I'm going to just check if anything's changed or something that looks unfamiliar. But so far, everything looks quite similar. I haven't seen anything that looks to have changed. These are the basic ones. Now these are the class specials. Again, I don't know why this one keeps returning. It's actually trash. If it was kills and assists, that would be great. Or it had assist parts as a separate one that stores one part, maybe it'll be fine. This is trash because longsword doesn't need damage. Especially not at 3 energy. This is counterintuitive. You don't go for extra health. All non. This is spear. They kept this one, surprisingly. I really do not like that this one exists. Makes spears like right click. They try to nerf that, and they're buffing it with runes. So it's just like, why? Why are you doing this? They didn't buff this, which is very surprising. I do think that this seriously needs to be buffed. Like, defeating soldiers, it should literally just be like every soldier this Tiger's Claw kills should just be 1 second off. Let me just, and like, not even defeating or assisting heroes, just hitting a hero just reduce the cooldown, please. Oh, they brought this one back, so yeah. Combine these two, you'll probably do a lot of damage. Again, they're trying to make bow kind of like an anti-unit thing, but it's just like, why would you? When you're good enough at bow, you just clobber the, you just face roll the enemy heroes because you can always pick them out. This one returns, so short bows are still going to be annoying as hell. No one ever uses this one because no one uses slashing attacks. This one and this one are basically what people use. Alright. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. Reset. Obviously, you know that the frame shop gets reset. Nothing really changes from the frame shop. I think they lowered this. It goes 27. Used to be 27. Seasonal map. Oh, wow. Border fort preparation. The structure of the contested areas in Border Fort has been modified, and new supply points has been added. The updated Border Fort, now renamed as Border Fort Preparation in match siege battles. Oh, okay. Interesting setup. So there is a supply point inside the little gate thing. One of the stairs has been removed. So only one stairs here. They added barricades here, probably for defenders protection. Strange why. I think they removed a couple of the artilleries here at the front. Oh, maybe there weren't artilleries on this side. Still the cannons too. The cannons probably up there as well. They completely rearranged this section here. Hard stop here for... I think this is to stop the defenders from from blocking the gate. So attackers can come through, filter right around, kind of make the defenders cross this path. But this is really dumb as well, because if the attackers are completely safe to take the long way around here, they just go straight up through the center and hit this section here. Guessing the supply back here is still a thing. This is really irritating looking at this. Oh, supply point inside the base defense. Wow, that's odd. This is going to be... How this is changed is quite funny, because Attackers gonna come straight, because attackers will probably come straight through here. People will probably peek out through here. Very ballsy to kind of block off these two sections. Once the defenders move from this down supply here up, the attackers will take this and then filter with a double hard turn here in, and the attackers, oh no, the defenders most likely will set up on this corner here. This corner here. This will probably be very flankable, but it's just going to be kind of enemies filtering through. I mean, defenders going to be filtering through this direction to get to here, which is going to be very strange. It's still very open and stuff. Don't think there's gonna. I think defenders are going to push straight into here, or kind of like do a really weird thing by standing here. I don't know. Standing here is not possible anymore because there's no space. Interesting. I like new maps because it creates a new dynamic. We'll have to experience it. Well, let's see if I can. My internet's not very great, so I'm probably gonna be doing less Conqueror's Blade. Mostly just probably keep you guys updated with any news that I get. For this season at the very least. So, units and system optimization. So, these are official, what we can expect to actually hit live server. Balance adjustment. This is probably going to be a verbatim what we got from the PTR side. Based on recent battlefield performance data and feedback from the community, we will be making balance adjustments to several units in Season 18. With these balance adjustments, we aim to provide opportunities for some underperforming but uniquely seasonal units to see play, making the battlefield more diverse overall. Shield Maidens has demonstrated relatively weak performance in recent battlefield environment. Their data even unable to match with units that have similar mechanics but lower leadership costs. As the only 5-star heavy shield unit, we hope to give them better defensive capabilities. You say that, but all I can see is that you increase the stupid ass damage. If you wanted to make a tanky unit, you can make a tanky unit. It's not difficult. Shield Maidens are not tanky though. They're so squishy. They get blown up, and the only good thing about them is how fast they are and how fast they can deal damage. That's the only reason why anyone uses them, and it's the only reason why they were ever viable. It's not because of their tankiness. You don't use ISGs because of their tankiness. You use them because they're just unbelievably unstoppable and they'll still kill something. If they couldn't kill anything, no one would use them. Because tanks are underappreciated. No one likes using tanks either. No one likes fighting tanks because it just means that I can't deal damage to you and you deal no damage to me. So we're at a stalemate. You don't make tanks interesting because all of your interesting units are high damage, high impact units. If you actually make your tanks do something instead of nothing, maybe you would have a better game. Or maybe you would have a better dynamic on how to create units. Unfortunately, you have units that do too many things and do too much at the same time. Like, for Pete's sake. Let units have only a few core identities. Because if you have damage and you just add in tankiness, CC, all of the shebang, you have a unit that does basically everything, and the only unit that you're going to ever compare it to is other units that do everything. And unless you do everything better than that unit, why you use the other one? Anyway, the changes to the Shield Maiden is going to be leadership cost goes from 310 to 280, probably the biggest out of everything here. The damage reduction of the Cover Commander has been increased from 15% to 30%. Again, this is only supposed to be in Spear mode. This is actually meant to be deactivated. Well, I say that. This is only for Spear mode Cover Commander. This does not activate. This does not technically activate when you use the, after you use the shield attack Cover Commander form in Sword mode. So, remember, use Comp Commander, switch to swords, you are basically OP. You basically combine both of them, all of the buffs into one form. Your strongest form, your sword form, because it deals the most damage. You still have the knockback. You don't have the armor penetration debuff, but that's like whatever. Not exactly strong enough. Not exactly strong enough or long enough to actually make a difference in battle. Considering that battles end like in 20 seconds. Not even 20 seconds, like 3 seconds. The effect of the defense increase in the Guardian has been upgraded from 10% to 20%. Again, it still says a flat number of 150. I thought it was 250, but maybe that was changed. Now it's 20%. Again, 50% on the banner for banner guards. I really wish that was bigger because that thing is insane. That being said, really sad that it's not a flat number. It's now a percentage. It just means that the only units that are going to benefit from this is units that already have a high amount of armor. You can't use this for weaker units, and you can't use this to make well, you can't use this for weaker units for high effect. Basic slashing damage increased by 10%. Basic piercing damage increased by 10%. Again, this is purely for slash and stab mode, because for the life of me, spear mode, even though they stab with the spear, it's blunt damage. I swear to God. Maybe it's mixed damage, but when they're in their spear mode, they're basically doing blunt damage. Varangian Guards, as a unit specializing in the counter strike, it has been performing poorly against some meta units. All meta units will do better jobs than the Varangian Guards. The Varangian Guards is a very hybrid-y unit. It doesn't do as well in either form, because either form is just underperforming because it's a hybrid unit. You also don't make it easy enough to switch from one form to the other to adapt to the situation. Instead, you force it to have some kind of strange algorithm in how they fight, which means that you need a unit when it has these restrictions to be competent in both forms in order for it to work. Or you need one form to overcompensate, which they're trying to do with the axe form. We aim to enhance their damage resistance during defense and their damage output during counterattacks, making the tactical gameplay on the battlefield more diverse. Changes. The effect of the damage reduction in the Unbreakable has been increased from 30% damage reduction reduced by 40%. Man, that is increased from 30% to 40%. Don't know why they added. I don't know why they swapped these like they rearranged that. Ranging Onslaught, all types of armor penetration increase from 300 to 400. Again, this is basically nothing. This is basically less than a 5% increase. Less than a 5% increase in total damage for axe mode. It's basically nothing. Siphonaries. Siphonaries have a unique attack style, providing significant suppression against high-density infantry. However, their overall performance is relatively poor at present. We aim to enhance their basic attributes appropriately to introduce some changes to the local dynamic of the battlefield. Leadership cost goes from 315 to 300. Again, probably one of the biggest changes is leadership. Basic blunt damage increased by 200. Basic health increases by 20%. This only gives them about 1,000 extra health. This 200 blunt damage is probably one of the biggest thing, but it only just kind of matches up to the higher health that most units probably are experiencing. I mean, units in general have been releasing with more and more health. If you haven't noticed, seasonal units have more and more health, even if their stats are kind of measured against each other. They have more health, better statistics, more like hidden stats that we can't see to make them better than the units that are existing. Surprisingly, they called them out Metallitor here. Again, terminology, stick with it. These are right now supposed to be called Falconetti Gunners as changed per your English adjustment. The Metallitors possess unique strategic value and features a distinct attack style. However, its impact on the current battlefield environment is diminishing. We aim to increase their firepower output duration appropriately, allowing them to better utilize their unique advantage. They don't need more ammo. They need to be able to deal damage more reliably. So you need to either increase accuracy or give them a larger AOE effect or higher fire rate. You just need them to get their damage out. You don't need this increased 30% ammo. This is going to do nothing. You know what this is going to do? This is going to make it more annoying for, well, actually, no matter what you do, if you buff the Falconetti Gunners or the Metallitors in any capacity, it's just going to make it more annoying for siege pushers to actually push the siege towers. But that is besides the point. Like, no one understands that the Metallitor's unique playstyle is not limited by their ammunition. It's limited by their requirement to set up. They're limited by the accuracy of their shots and the general range. They can't set up too close because if someone jumps on top of them, they stop firing. You should just remove the minimum range now, because obviously the minimum range is useless in this case to kind of like, not useless, but it defeats the purpose. There are so many units that can get on top of the Metallitors and just beat the crap out of them in not 1 second. And the other thing is just that, like, in a direct range firefight, the Metallitors will always lose because they have lower accuracy, lower damage, and just generally lower effect. Any of the meta range units right now probably deal way more damage than the Metallitors. The only time you ever see a Metallitor deal any significant amount of damage is when 3 or 4 units are stacked right on top of each other, so dense that one cannonball is going to end up striking like 12 people. Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Do mind, each cannonball only does around about 4,000 damage. My goodness, the Shenji Grenadiers basic attack hits for 4k. Their stupid grenade not only have a wider area of effect, it has an 800 flat damage where it just decides to, well, not 800 flat damage, but it can hit quite a few units, and when in its entirety, a volley from the Metallitors versus a grenade volley, the grenade volley has way more deadly than an entire volley from the Metallitors. If the Metallitors literally just skewered or just literally obliterated anything it touches, yeah, that would be an amazing unit, but it doesn't. The cannonballs need to deal way more damage. You need to either throw more cannonballs, or the cannonballs need to have more of an effect. I think I've already said that before. But yeah. Absolutely stupid. Hello? Oh yeah, sorry about that. Huh? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. I was just told to be quiet. Desert Pearl, as a uniquely versatile unit, it has been underperforming against some metaphor style units, enhancing the survivability, especially when activating the Last Stand skill, can bring more diversity to the current battlefield environment. So, this should be the Grey Hair Garrison. Again, it's nothing to do with their survivability. They're actually fairly tanky, especially if you add the toughness doctrine. Their ability to deal damage is somehow gimped. I don't know how, I don't know why, but in practice, in battle, I can't get into like testing. There's probably some other guys that have better examples in testing, but in battle, these guys just still do not feel like they're dealing damage, even though you know that they're taking damage and they're definitely like they're definitely surviving damage. They're really tanky, and you can definitely tell that they're tanky. They just can't fend off the enemies. So they either don't deal enough damage to knock enemies out. They either like don't have no CC to push enemies away, or they don't. I mean, like they don't kill anything and they don't push anything away. So the Greyhair Garrison formation just fails at the primary thing it's supposed to do. So it changes the leadership costs change from 230 to 200. Will definitely increase the efficiency, but it's still going to be like the style of the unit just really down because it's a brace style unit and people don't use formation style units right now. Formation style units are trash. They have so much handling issues that you can't really leave it alone. You need to protect it. You need to kind of sustain it at nearly every possible nearly at every possible moment. Basic health increased by 20%. So, like, Greyhair Garrisons feature a very high health pool. Now, even higher. I think they're probably I think I checked, they were probably well over 14k now. The effective last stand reduction goes from 15% to 25%. I think I did a small test against Men-at-Arms. This makes them basically able to tank the charge from Men-at-Arms. Not sure if the +1 is going to change anything about that, but for the most parts, like Greyhair Garrison's last stand, going to be very difficult to one-shot. Not impossible, just very difficult. There's going to be very few meta units that will be able to break through everything that the Greyhair Garrisons just kind of received. And it's kind of disgusting how tanky this unit is, but it's still trash. Again, because it somehow can't deal damage. Even though it can, it's just a little bit finicky. Alchemist. Alchemist is the first unit in the Warfront with an auxiliary healing mechanism, and their healing skills are unique and interesting. We aim to further reduce their command value and significantly increase the healing effect of their healing hands skills, encouraging warlords on the battlefield to engage in altruistic behavior. Leadership cost goes from 90 to 60. Again, no one's going to bring them, even at this cheap. No one's going to bring them because they're a support unit that basically can't support anyone. The moment you try to support someone, they run off to the supply point or run off to the front. If they run off to the front, they get killed. Well, Alchemists will get killed. Healing hand regeneration, 1% of max HP to regenerate 10% of max HP. This was 20%. I think they changed that because there was a scenario where alchemists were literally out healing damage done by like heroes or something. I think 10% is kind of like the maximum they can allow alchemists to heal without it becoming impossible for just like regular units to kill them, which is kind of funny. It's kind of funny that like a scenario like that would happen, considering that units would be like certain units would just be able to just explode the alchemist in like 2 seconds. And I'm pretty sure like heroes can still do that with big abilities. Prefecture Pikes. As a unit primarily relying on charge for their damage output, reducing the charge cooldown would allow them to better adapt to the current dynamic battlefield environment. Changes reduce the cooldown for charge from 60 seconds to 40 seconds. Again, a good change. I would probably change it to 25 seconds or even 20 seconds. The low cooldown for some units is just ridiculously low in comparison to like Prefecture Pikemen. Having like a 30+ second cooldown is already basically being gimped. You have Iron Cap swords that have a 7-second cooldown. You can get it lower. Corsaliers literally have a 3-second cooldown. I don't think you can get it lower than that. They're competing on the lower end. I mean, They're competing against units that are cheaper than them but are way more effective. And again, Iron Cap Swordsmen do what the Prefecture Pikemen do, but way better. Because they have a shield, most attacks get blocked. Because they also are daze immune, they don't get stopped as easily. I mean, Prefecture Pikeman has CC immunity, but let me be clear. You can easily just kill the unit. Iron Cap Swordsman, not so much. Iron Cap Spearman. Now, this is an idiotic change, and it's going to be completely pointless. The Iron Cap Spearman as a meta 3-star with heavy shield units, we aim to increase their health to differentiate them from other shield units. So not only do they get a 20 leadership cost reduction, they get a base health increase by 30%. They have 18,000 health, I believe, last time I checked the PTR. That's an insanity amount of health. Insane amount of health. I don't know. I honestly don't understand anything to deal with why making units tankier. They still have a gimped ass. They still have a gimped ass advance. That advance is on a 60-second cooldown. All of the other shield advances is on a 10-second cooldown, so I don't know why they haven't changed that. They have very strong inflammation, but it's just like, what do you want? What do you want it to do? It doesn't deal any damage, so it's gonna deal damage. But it's so tanky that like right now, it's just basically everyone's just gonna be like, eh, so tanky. Let's just like ignore it. Or I mean, again, like Corsaliers love charging over Iron Cap Suman. You know why? Because they can't do shit to them. They're great at protecting like stuff from range, but when push comes to shove, Iron Cap Spearmen just like end up not accomplishing what they should be doing. I don't know. This efficiency cost will just make it so that people have more punching bags. In tier 3, there'll be more scenarios where like tier 3 units just don't have the damage to just eat through like an entire Iron Cap Spearman. That's about it. It's a really stupid change. It just makes it more aggravating to deal with Iron Cap Spearmen if they do appear, but it's just like no one's gonna like using them, no one's like gonna fight them. Maybe that one long sword that just like heal. Heaven of mercy, heaven of mercy, heaven of mercy. My goodness, trying healing these guys would just be absolutely cancer to face. Ordnance Squad. I believe these are the Creeks Fusiliers. Creeks Fusiliers stand out amongst the various rifle units due to their high movement speed and impressive firepower. Yeah, because you gave them a mastery passive that increases their movement speed by 40% and increases their attacking power by 40%. Why do you think they're impressive? We aim to slightly reduce their health to provide warlords with more opportunities to exploit their weaknesses when facing the Vienna rifle guards. Again, decrease base health decreased by 30%. They're basically going to be as squishy as Imperial Arquebusiers. It will be like some 10 or 15% instead of like literally double. Like previously, Kriegs were at least twice or at least 3 times less likely to die when hit with the same things versus Imperial Arquebusiers, which would probably lose like entire squads if a bomb was thrown at them. Like a musket bomb, I would lose like 12 guys. Musket bomb thrown at my Kriegs, maybe if one of them gets headshot, I'd lose one. The rest of them survive. Probably still has 1,000, probably 2,000 health left. It was difficult to kill them, and what made them good. Again, ranged units that don't die in to a bloody sneeze is way more fun, way more dynamic, and way less stressful to play. You can play them more aggressively because you know that you're not going to just eat it almost instantly every single time. Now, again, will this kill the unit? Probably not. They're just going to move slightly further away. People are just going to be slightly more cautious. It's still a very strong unit. There is a reason why you don't bring Imperial Arquebusiers, because Imperial Arquebusiers are just harder to use. These guys are super easy to use and they're super fast. I've been finding it very difficult to deal with their speed rather than how difficult they are to kill. Because once I'm on top of them, I can deal enough damage to kill a couple. But they can run away so fast that I can never catch them. Or even if I do, I catch only one. Iron Cap Scouts, of course, everyone knew this. Everyone knows that this unit needed to be nerfed. Its efficiency is way too high. It makes Cortiliers look like a bloody joke. Iron-Cap Scouts have been favored by Warlords since its mastery was launched. However, its excessively high cost efficiency and significant control ability over heroes have greatly affected battlefield balance. We aim to increase their leadership costs and reduce their controllability over heroes, creating more opportunities for Warlords to counter the Iron-Cap's Scout cavalry on the battlefield. Changes: leadership cost goes from 95 to 120. The dominate the world no longer causes a daze effect on heroes. These adjustment will issue this adjustment will issue Iron Cap Scout Doctrine removal tokens and Iron Cap Scouts scroll of forgetfulness to our warlords. After using these items, all activated doctrines become removable, and 100% of the corresponding resources spent on masteries will be refunded. I don't think this is enough to kind of eliminate Iron Cap Scouts. It's still got to be more effective, more easier to use than Cortiliers, but Cortiliers Mastery might change that. At the end of the day, people loved using Iron Cap Scouts because of how cheap they are. So this is probably going to be the biggest blow out of anything. Ragdoll physics. We have added a Ragdoll effect to the impact and explosive attacks to heroes, units, and artilleries that deal powerful blows or explosions when killing enemy infantry. You can turn on effect by escape graphic setting Ragdoll system. That's hilarious. Also, really funny how that hasn't been implemented that wasn't implemented in the beginning, because I probably never noticed it, but like watching it now, that's really funny. And I kind of like that. just just how stupid it's going to be watching the Winged Hussars just absolutely roll over hundreds of guys and just ragdoll them. I mean, it's going to be stupid. Like, this is lightweight. This is lightweight. These Winged Hussars could easily roll over hundreds of guys. I mean, like, funny thing is, this is probably just infantry, but imagine like cavalry. Imagine if cavalry has a ragdoll effect. I bet they don't. They probably don't. New player experience process. It is the first time that we optimize the first time matched games of our new players. We have replaced it with an optimized map based on the seasonal theme to enhance new player experience. Adjusted the map in the early matchmaking pool for new players, primarily focusing on seasonal theme, and optimized the guidance for the first two battles. Optimized to commander rule changes. Optimized the logic for commander replacement after Thief battle, preventing a situation where the frontline cooldown ends but the commander does not change. Oh, okay, so actually, I have no idea. This is TW. This is TW related thing. System interaction experience. Interactively optimize the detail page for the New unit reorganize the system. Oh, okay. So this is the new UI for the barracks. It's just the attributes. It's just how the page sets up for when you click on the unit. I don't think there's any changes to the barracks itself. Yeah. Program optimization fixed the issue where a ghost soldier might appear and interrupt the capture process on the battlefield. That's funny. Fixed the issue where some emails could not be cleared when using the bulk delete feature. Fixed the issue where fire damage had a chance to cause game server crashes. That was all that happened. Fix the issue of, or maybe that did happen, but I didn't know it was fire damage. Fix the issue of laggy caused by frequent updates on physical effect on the battlefield. Fix the issue where pressing escape in the embedded browser caused the system setting page to pop up. Added the ability to collect all unlocked rewards with one click in the seasonal challenge. The gift code feature has been moved from the O key to the escape key. Non-NVIDIA card users can use FSR features to optimize frame rate. Added indicators for friendly fire damage. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Excalibur server update content. Basic updates. The basic update content is consistent with the official server update content. Okay, so it's just saying that anything in this update is consistent with Excalibur server. Again, Excalibur is a little bit special. They have some special rules, so I guess this is the second part of it. The special update content. Territory Wars. The new season will open access to the Imperial Reservationists. The world will continue to adopt the single region, opening the Maoyang region. The maximum number of players per house will remain at 30. Modified the declare war/battle requirement based on the territorial ecology of Excalibur server. The total influence required to declare war on Angliang has been reduced, adjusted the house level requirements for declaring/participating in war at various fiefs in Maoyang. Okay, so we got the basic stuff, we got the territorial war stuff for the Excalibur server. And that is all for this update. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If I was to put it lightly, I'm not looking forward to this season. I'm not sure if I'm going to have time for this season, but I am hopeful. I want to be hopeful that they can change, but let's be real. I've been holding on for too long, and they've just continued to double down on things that I really, really hate and really think they shouldn't do. One other thing that I probably didn't mention is just like phasing. Why? Why is this a thing? Why do you allow units to just phase into one another? Why is I allowed to have my entire 28 units in a very, very, very small space? And anyone that touches it is going to get a face full of 28 units smacking them. No idea. But at the end of the day, I love Conqueror's Blade. No other game like it. So I end this update with a somber note. But again, my question to you guys is, are you excited for the new season? I know a lot of people aren't. It's another Chinese season. What kind of season would you want? What kind of season would you want to get you interested again? At this point, I don't care. It's really what they do with the system itself, the mechanics. I love that they're redoing maps, but reinventing the maps is a constant thing. You need to keep it interesting for players to formulate strategies and stuff. You got to make sure that we don't play the same thing for too long, because if we play it for too long, there is an ebb and flow. It's almost systematic how we do sieges. If you keep the meta the same, it's almost systematic. Which warband we use? I 100% believe that most people have a warband that they use 90% of the time, and probably change one unit, or maybe 2 units. But nevertheless, that's probably with most games. anything that this game is going through is probably other games also probably go through the exact same thing. Um, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. But other than that, my name's Satsukai. Have a nice day. Bye for now.